I want to welcome everybody to the Demountable Concepts online webinar about remote market final mile distribution using the warehouse on wheels solution. Now, if you're listening in, you might have been faced with some of the similar challenges that our current customers faced. You might see opportunity to increase the quality and number of deliveries, or you probably have some other creative ways to leverage the system. But either way, I'm going to cover a lot of valuable information as to how this is used within the industry, so that you can really hone in on how your company can benefit. Now, I do want to kind of just put a quick note in here. The presentation will mainly be focused on the furniture industry application of our solution. However, I did notice that there are some from other industries that have joined the webinar. So I've gone ahead and just included some examples from other industries because it really does translate across the board. So we'll learn about how they also utilize the system. So first, I want to show you just briefly what we're going to cover. So first, I'll introduce you to our company, Demountable Concepts. Then we'll talk about the actual warehouse on wheels systems and the benefits that it provides. Then tie it together by reviewing the components and the equipment options that come along with it, and then some additional support items followed up with some Q&A at the end. The presentation will run about 40 minutes. You are going to be muted throughout. However, if you have questions come up throughout the presentation, feel free to use the GoToWebinar app to submit the question. And then at the end, like I said, I'll open it up for Q&A, and I'll read off the questions and field any type of comments or concerns or questions that come up throughout. So let's get started here. First, I'll introduce myself. My name's Jerry Hazard. I'm the National Account Executive here at Demountable Concepts, and I work with companies across many different industries, furniture included, and I use a very consultative approach. So we aim to learn about your company's operation so that we can help implement a successful change in operation using our Demountable solution. Now, I have a team myself that supports me on all aspects of every project, and it's going to ensure that you receive a best-in-class solution at the finish line. Now, as far as that team and our company, we're located in New Jersey, and we've been in business for over 35 years building this demountable equipment. And like I'd mentioned, we work with many industries. A lot of the top 100 furniture retails across North America utilize this system, as well as top retailers in other industries. And what we do is we manufacture the demountable equipment at our facility, and we work with your truck dealer to deliver this best-in-class equipment to your operation. Now, we're able to do that because we keep these 6 core values right at the center. This is how we work so well together internally here at Demountable Concepts. So whether it's sales, operations, engineering, fabrication, we don't have silos. We knock those walls down using these 6 core values. And important to you is that we exert these values outward towards our customers. We align them with our customers because we always want to keep the customer's best interest in mind, because ultimately we want to provide a great product, be a team, but then also grow together. That's the idea of this solution, is to grow. So it's a win-win all around. Now, to help keep us on track, we have a process. It's a very high-level process that we look at, but it's been in place for the 35 years that we've been in business. And it provides our customers the support throughout the entire interaction. So really what this means to you is that Demountable is going to be there from the beginning when we're asking questions to learn more about your business, so that we can go back and engineer the custom solution for you. We're going to build it, deliver it, and then we're going to train your team on how to use it. And then after you're running it and seeing the benefits, we're going to still be there to support you and your team through any questions or concerns that may arise throughout the life of the equipment. So like ultimately, you should feel confident that you're not just buying a piece of equipment, but you're getting a partner that's going to invest in the furthering success of your operation. So now that you kind of know who we are and how we approach our business with our customers, I want to talk about why so many furniture companies use our system. Before we get into the operational details though, let's find out exactly what this solution is. It's called Warehouse on Wheels. So Warehouse on Wheels is meant to address the redundancies of cross-docking, greatly reduce the windshield time of final mile delivery drivers, and allow companies to expand into new markets quickly. It's pretty similar to a pup double operation. But there's one main difference, and that's being the final mile delivery driver and the final mile delivery equipment is now non-CDL instead of Class A. And in addition to that, you have less costly and more versatile equipment on the back end for making final mile deliveries in suburban markets. So now before I move on though, into the operational end, I want to point out something on your screen. So if you look at those orange bodies, the Ashley bodies on the left-hand side, let's focus on that bottom one on the straight truck. You're going to notice instead of a front wall on that orange body, you're going to see a front square frame with a door. So on the warehouse on wheels systems, we build the bodies with not just rear roll doors, but they also have front roll doors. So if you see in the top orange, picture of the orange bodies, two 26-foot bodies can be mounted on a 53-foot demountable trailer backed up to your dock, and you can load both bodies fully through out of one bay door. This is really important in the streamlining end of this operation. Speaking of which, I put together an infographic, broke it up into 3 parts for you, and I'll walk you through a typical warehouse on wheels operation step by step. So for this example, we're going to use a furniture company that utilizes 26-foot truck bodies. So you have two 26-foot truck bodies with front and rear doors, both on a 53-foot demountable trailer backed up to the dock. This furniture company opens up all the doors and starts loading it in route order. Route 1 in the front being body 1, load that all the way through, shut the doors. Body 2 is in the back, that's route 2, load that up, shut the doors. This loading operation usually happens in the early evening hours because the idea is you want both bodies fully loaded, ready to go on the trailer when your tractor driver arrives for an overnight line haul. So the tractor driver hooks up to the trailer, just like it normally would on any other trailer via kingpin and fifth wheel, and line hauls those two bodies on the trailer about 200 to 300 miles away into your remote final mile market. Furniture companies typically use their storefront parking lots to do this swap operation. So the trailer driver in this scenario goes to a storefront parking lot, drops off the two loaded bodies, and backs up underneath two empty bodies from the day before. Now, these bodies aren't always empty. They're usually filled with trash, returns, not at homes. And that trailer driver brings them back to the DC to drop them off to be unloaded and cleaned out for the next day. So this line haul driver's sole purpose is to bring two bodies from the distribution center 300 miles away, drop off the two loaded, and bring two empties back. And in some cases, this line haul driver may have more hours in their shift to deliver another set of two bodies. So it really, again, depends on your operation. So now that we have two loaded bodies in your remote market 300 miles away, fast forward to the next morning. Your delivery, your final mile non-CDL delivery drivers arrive to start their shift. They immediately hop into their demountable straight truck, back up underneath one of the bodies the trailer dropped off overnight, take 5 minutes to mount it up, and is immediately out on the road making deliveries. Same thing for the second driver. Gets in the second straight truck, backs up underneath the second body from the trailer, 5 minutes, out on the road making deliveries. And then at the end of the day, those drivers return back to the storefront swap yard parking lot and drop off both empty bodies, parks the trucks, and now you have two empty bodies ready to be picked up by the trailer that night when they bring another two loaded. So again, when you compare this to a traditional distribution method, you have two options in the traditional way. You can send your delivery drivers directly from your distribution center on a 2-hour stem drive before they make their first delivery, but now you're cutting back on the amount of deliveries you can make per day. Versus having your delivery drivers start in the final mile market, take 5 minutes to mount up a body, and now they're in the final mile market making deliveries and making more deliveries because now they have more hours in their shift. The alternative is you can have a cross dock. You send a 53-foot trailer from your DC to a cross dock, take all that time to offload it from the 53-foot trailer and reload it into box trucks and send them out for deliveries. Warehouse on Wheels eliminates all the cross-docking labor and the need for an actual brick and mortar cross-dock in the final mile market. By just dropping off 2 bodies and simply putting them on straight trucks, you're eliminating a brick and mortar, redundant loading operations, and you're also making more deliveries per day by utilizing this method. And you don't have to take it from me. You can see some information from some of our customers, and our largest probably furniture customer we have right now is Haverty's Furniture. Before they implemented Demountable, they operated 49 warehouses to deliver across 16 states. By implementing Demountable company-wide, they now have over 500 bodies moving across 16 states, and they were able to close all 49 regional cross docks. And by doing so, they saved $18 million annually on those logistics costs. So again, it's helped them not only become more efficient, but they've been able to expand into new markets as well. Now, I promised you that we would include some examples from other industries. Food and beverage is another great example here. Frito-Lay utilizes our warehouse on wheels system all across Canada right now. And before Demountable, they were dead stacking, meaning stacking potato chips from floor to ceiling in a 53-foot dry van trailer. That took over 3 hours to do. Not only that, they would then line haul all of that to a cross dock and take 3 hours to offload it, and then another few hours to reload it into straight trucks. By doing warehouse on wheels, they completely skip over and eliminate that entire cross dock operation, where now they just drop 2 loaded 26-foot bodies off of a trailer and transfer them onto straight trucks and go out and make deliveries. So they eliminated all that extra redundant work. They also eliminated product touches, which is big in the furniture world as well. The more you touch the product, the more you risk breakage and product loss. Now you have product leaving a DC and not getting touched again until it comes off the back of a straight truck at the final mile delivery. And another industry is wine and spirits. This company operated 3 local warehouses all throughout Georgia. They were able to consolidate all of their product and inventory into one main distribution center just outside of Atlanta. And now they are able to deliver the entire state of Georgia without having the need for any type of cross-dock facilities, without having the need to touch product again. It just comes right off the trailer onto a straight truck and goes out and makes deliveries. Now you'll notice on the screen, those bodies are a little bit smaller than 26 foot. And I'll expand on this a little bit later, but you can have an operation with a trailer that hauls 2 26-foot bodies, 3 17-foot bodies, or in this case on your screen, 4 12-foot bodies. So now that we covered the operational end of it, I think this is really going to help bring it full circle and piece it together for you. We'll take a look at the system components. What makes up the swap body system or the warehouse on wheels system from an equipment standpoint? For ease of use, I broke this up into parts, right? Because the body and the truck are now separate. So we'll start with the truck chassis. What you see on your screen is your final mile delivery truck chassis. This is typically purchased or leased from your truck provider, and then the truck is drop shipped to our facility here in New Jersey, where we do all the upfitting out of our facility. The main system that goes on this truck is called the chassis lift system. This simply lifts and lowers the body on and off the truck chassis. There are 2 systems, hydraulic and air, that you see on your screen. We're going to work with you and our engineers to find out what the best solution for your operation is, as there's clear benefits that both offer. And again, these systems are typically installed at our facility in New Jersey. However, we can ship a kit to one of our remote installers throughout the country, depending on the scope of the project. Now, continuing on with the chassis, we have a lift gate option. There's still an option for your delivery chassis, and we will make a recommendation based off of prior jobs that we've done. However, if you're married to a specific brand, we do work with all the major lift gate manufacturers across the country. It's important to note the lift gate stays with the truck chassis. So if you purchase, say, 4 trucks and 8 bodies, you don't need 8 lift gates. you only need one lift gate per truck. So there's definitely a cost savings there as well. And rolling along with offloading options, you can also do a walk ramp. Again, similar fashion, the walk ramp stays with the truck, and every time you have a body mounted on that truck, as you can see in the picture on the left, it operates like a normal walk ramp would. So that ties up the truck end of it. Now I'm going to hop into the body end of it. So a little background. Over the 35 years, we've worked with many bodybuilders across the country to match up our equipment with their bodies. And we still have really great partnerships in place to ensure that we provide everyone with their requested equipment. That said, over the past few years, the market has really pushed us to become more efficient with how we provide this piece of the puzzle to our customers. So now we can now offer you a one-stop shop for your demountable equipment and bodies with our new bodybuilding operation. Prior, we would need to build a body subframe and ship it to a bodybuilder facility to have the actual body built. We now offer the option to have everything happen at our facility, so all you really need to provide us is the truck chassis. This is a huge value add to our customers because it not only shortens up lead times, but it also allows for us to have complete oversight over the build. This is going to result in a higher quality customer experience from start to finish. So to continue on with the bodies and the components that are involved, the main difference between this body and a standard body is our demountable body base frame, which is on your screen right there. It's right below the floor. It's the cross member side rails and most obviously the legs. We build this at our main facility, and then we move it 100 feet out back to our body shop where they lay the floor down, build the walls up exactly to your spec. And again, the only difference is it's now a demountable body that can stand on legs. Now for the warehouse on wheels system, the bodies are built, like I said, 12-foot, 17-foot, or 26-foot configurations, and they can be built still 96 or 102 inches wide. Now, as far as the legs go, we do have a couple of options. On the left is our legacy leg. It's a retractable leg. This is the one that's been in use for the 35 years that we've been building demountable equipment. They can collectively withstand 24,000 pounds when a body is standing independent of the chassis. This leg works for majority of applications, but again, we understand not every operation is the same. So we designed the heavy duty leg on the right-hand side. It incorporates some technology from Europe where swap body is a standard mode of transportation. This leg swings down rather than pulls out, which creates less required space on either side of the body to deploy the legs. It's a great option for tight dock spaces. But in addition, these legs can withstand 40,000 pounds collectively and allow the body to be forklift loaded from the dock without the need for a chassis underneath the body. Our legacy leg never really allowed for this, so this is a great new option for companies that are pallet loading larger items with a forklift. Now, I'd love to be in front of you with our demo equipment, but since I can't be right now, I put together a couple of short videos just to kind of illustrate what this equipment looks like when it's in use. The first one is that heavy duty leg. You see it pulls out about a foot, swings down, and then that extra brace is key here. That connects to the underside of the body. It stops the body from having any type of lateral movement when you're driving a forklift in and out of the body while it's standing on legs. Here's our standard leg. This leg pulls out about 4 feet, swings down, and then a brace is pinned in place. You do that 3 more times, and now you have a body that can stand on legs up against your dock. And lastly, again, since I can't be there with an actual truck, I wanted to show you how easy it is to pull out and back underneath a body. General rule of thumb, if your drivers can back up to a dock, they can back up underneath the body easily. To wrap up the body end of things, I did want to mention that there are different body styles for demountable. It doesn't have to just be van body. They all interchange. So you can have a truck that is a van body today, a flatbed tomorrow, a refrigerated body the next day. It's very flexible and it provides almost like a utility tool, but in a truck format. For the furniture industry, the body in the top right corner is going to be what you see. So to wrap up the equipment end of things, I'll talk about the trailer. Again, for the trailer, you can come in 3 different configurations. You got 226s, 317s, or 412s. The trailer is specific to whatever body size you pick. The great part about our trailer is it is compatible with your existing tractor fleet. You don't have to go out and buy a special tractor for this. We will ship you what's called a lift lower kit. Any shop can install it in your tractor. All it does is allow your tractor air suspension to rise and lower above and below ride height. And before I get into next steps and wrap up, one very important thing, and I kind of mentioned this in the beginning, is driver training. So every time that your company opens up a new market utilizing the warehouse on wheels system, we will travel out and personally train in person your drivers. We will train your non-CDL delivery drivers, and separately we will train your Class A tractor trailer line haul drivers. And once everybody is comfortable, we bring them together and do what we call dress rehearsal, where you have the trailer driver drop off 2 bodies and your delivery drivers come in and pick the bodies up to go out and make deliveries. So we really have a great training program. That in-person training starts with watching training safety videos, reading a manual, and even taking an online test that they have to pass in order to move to the in-person hands-on training. So wrapping up with some next steps, we should definitely connect and get that discovery call. I want to learn about your business. I want to tell you what kind of custom solution that we can provide you. And then from there, we can provide a budgetary quote so that you can see what type of CapEx is involved. And then we'll get connected with your truck OEM so that we can work with them to spec everything out and put together a nice package for you and propose to you the operation that you can utilize in your remote market distribution. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right on the screen for you. A copy of this webinar will be emailed out to everyone here for future reference. But at this point, I want to go ahead and kind of clear out any questions that may have come in or any comments. So one question I see, do I need to buy a new truck to utilize this system, or can I retrofit an existing chassis? That's a great question. Yes, you can retrofit an existing chassis. There is a caveat with the warehouse on wheels system. Obviously, with that front door, the body that comes off of your existing chassis will have to be repurposed elsewhere. But once the body's off the truck, we can absolutely upfit that truck with our chassis lift system. What is the lead time on getting a truck and body done? Well, the great part about Demountable is that the truck and body are now separately built. So I would work with your truck dealer to understand the truck chassis lead time to our facility. And based off of that lead time is when we're going to start building the body. So a truck might not be due to our facility until 5 months from now. But we know that we have a 3-month lead time on body. So we're going to start building that body earlier than the truck is here, so that that body is done when the truck is finishing up production here, so that everything is married up on time and sent out. And when everything is done properly, the typical turn time from when a truck hits our lot to when it's leaving is 30 days. So again, having the ability to not only build things separately, but build the bodies in-house here. We have complete control over the entire process, therefore shortening up the lead time from when a truck hits ground to when it's showing up at your lot. Oh, here's another. Do I need a new lift system every time I get a new truck? Really good question. No, you don't. So our equipment is designed to very much outlast the truck chassis. Okay, so our lift system is typically good for 2 7-year truck cycles. And what you do is once that truck is terming or about to be retired, you can take that lift system off of the old truck and swing it to the new truck. And typically there's a light refurbishment done to replace any type of worn parts, but the cost of doing that is 50 to 60% of the cost of buying a brand new lift system. And then in addition, the bodies typically always outlive the truck chassis. There are demountable bodies out there that are 20 to 30 years old. So whenever you cycle out a truck chassis from your fleet, you keep the bodies. We will always build it compatible with the bodies you have in your fleet. Get a new truck, a new lifter, it'll work with your existing body fleet. And then the last piece, as far as the trailers go, trailer chassis will last just like your typical trailers would. So I would mirror that exactly to your normal 53-foot trailer fleet. Any other questions? And like I said, I'm going to have this recording sent out to everybody on here. So if you do have other questions, my information's right there on this slide. Feel free to reach out. I'm here to help. I have a team as well that's here to help you through any questions, concerns that you have regarding the operation or the equipment. But to wrap up, I want to thank everybody for the time that you spent with me today. Hopefully by now you've learned why so many companies in the industry use this, and with the current climate of the industry, it's imperative that we should plan now and become efficient now for this future business. So let us help your company be proactive by adopting the most efficient box truck fleet on the market. I really look forward to speaking with all of you in more detail soon, and hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday.